Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's virtual vibrant learning lesson. I'm Lauren Smith, one of the program coordinators at Sage Collective, and we are rewriting the narrative on aging and incorporating intergenerational programming. The collective we're building is for all of us, and we're excited to have you join us on this journey. If this is your first time joining us, we're very, very glad you're here. And if you had a chance to take part in any of our recent events, like our caregiver support program or Art with Asha series, we're so happy to have you back. I'm excited to have the opportunity to introduce today's guest instructor and friend of Sage, Celina Merrill. Yay! If you don't know her yet, Celina is a dancer, ballerina, and trailblazer in the Nashville dance scene. She obtained her BFA in dance from the University of Cincinnati in 2019, and her extensive training background has provided her with the tools for keeping in touch with her body, staying healthy, flexible, and limber. So, Celina, we are happy to have you back. Would you mind walking us through what our lesson will look like today?
Hello everybody on the stream. I'm so happy to be back. I taught a couple of stretch and strengthening classes a few months ago, and I'm really happy to be back with Sage Collective because it's such a good time. So, for tonight, I have planned a more stretch focused class because it is the end of the day. I'm sure a lot of the people on the stream are winding down, getting ready for bed, and it's always a great opportunity to release the stress in your body, release any of the tension in your body before we lay down to go to sleep. So that is the plan for tonight.
Woo, woo.
Woo,
Okay,
woo.
I'm excited. I'm ready to wind down with you. And if anybody who's joined tonight has any questions throughout our lesson today, please feel free to throw those in the comments and I'll be sure to chime in and share them with Celina as we go along. So that's all that I'm going to say. Celina, the class is yours. Over to you.
Alrighty, so we're gonna start sitting on the floor. If you would like, you can take, I have a pillow underneath right here. If you would like, if you have a pillow that you want to use to support your hips, you can sit on a pillow or you can just sit on the floor. I'm gonna sit on a pillow. So we're gonna sit and we're just gonna cross our legs at the ankle and we want to sit up nice and tall. We want to be sure that we're not forward on our sits bones like this and that we're also not slouching back on our sits bones this way. We want to sit right upright and we can either hold on to our knees as a grounding point or you can place your hands on the floor as a grounding point. And we're going to start with our eyes closed and just take a couple deep breaths all together. So let's inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Let's reach our arms up to the sky. I'm going to grab onto my right wrist. Don't mind my cat. And reach up to the sky. I want to really feel like you're stretching all of the muscles in between your ribs. And as we're still reaching up to the center, we're going to make some little circles. So I'm going to reach over to the right, being sure to keep both of my hips down on the floor, and then bend my spine forward, and then reach to the left, and then reach back slightly. Again, reach to the right, reach forward, reach to the left, and reach back, and come back to center. Bring our arms down, and we're gonna reach up again. This time I'm gonna grab onto my left wrist, and we reach up to the ceiling, really stretching in between all of your ribs. You can even wiggle around a little bit, and you can reach to the left And reach to the front. Reach to the right. And reach back. Again, reach to the left. And pull forward. Reach to the right. And to the back. Come back to center. Arms down. I'm going to reach my left hand up over my head with my right hand reaching towards the floor. I'm going to reach and stretch. I'm reaching for the area of the wall where the ceiling meets the wall. I'm reaching for that crease right there. Reach. And we're just going to hold and breathe. Really feel that stretch all along your left side. Once again, we want to keep our hips down. Be careful not to lift the opposite hip. Both hips are reaching for the floor. Both sides of your sits bones are reaching for the floor. And take some nice, big, deep breaths. Allow your rib cage to continue expanding as you inhale, and then to contract everything as you exhale. And come up. We're going to do the same thing the other way. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling. We walk our left hand out as we reach and stretch our rib cage. Stretch the whole side. I really feel it from my shoulder all the way down to my hip. Same thing, both sits bones reaching for the floor. Allow your rib cage to expand as you inhale. And we'll come back up to sitting. Now we're going to take our right hand again. This time you're going to bring it over top of your head, and you're going to tilt your head to the right and lightly, very lightly, just apply a little bit of pressure to stretch out your neck here. You reach your left arm towards the floor. And we're going to turn our chin to look down at the floor, keeping our head over to the right. I feel this stretch all the way down the left side of my neck, around the back of my neck. And then turn your head back to the front. Apply that pressure to the side of your head a little bit again. And bring your head upright. And our left arm comes up and over top of our head. And we tilt our head to the left and apply just a little bit of pressure with our left hand. Make sure we're still taking nice, full breaths as we hold these stretches. And then turn your chin down towards the floor. And keep reaching away with your right arm. And turn your chin back to the front. Apply that little bit of pressure one more time. And bring your head upright. Now, we're going to take both hands behind your head at the nape of your neck. So I have my fingers interlaced and my thumbs are pointing down my spine. I'm gonna drop my chin to my chest, and with my palms of my hands, I'm gonna apply just a little bit of pressure to the back of my head to really stretch the back of my neck. As you do this, you want to make sure that you're not constricting your airway. You just want to lengthen everything and give a nice stretch back there. And then bring your head back up. And now I'm going to take both of my hands, my palms facing out, and I'm going to place them one right on top of the other on my forehead. And I'm going to lift my chin and apply some pressure to my forehead to stretch the front of my neck. You want to be careful that you're not dropping your skull onto your spine, but just lifting your chin and getting a nice stretch down the front of your throat right here. Good. And then we'll come back up. Alrighty. We're going to come onto all fours. So if you do have a pillow, move that off to the side. We're going to be on all fours and we're going to do some cat and cow. So my knees are about hip distance apart and they're right underneath my hip joints. And then my arms are about shoulder width apart and my wrists are right underneath my shoulder. My spine is straight and I'm looking straight down at the floor. I'm going to tilt my tailbone up to the ceiling and then do the same with my spine. Unfurl my spine and look up to the ceiling. And then we're going to reverse that, curl my tail under and push down into the floor to bend my spine in the opposite direction. And again, lift everything, look up to the ceiling, and curl everything in, and reach up, and curl, again, reach up, arch your spine, and curl. Last time, arching our spine and curling our spine. Now, we're gonna move a little bit more to do some less static stretches. So we're gonna tuck our toes underneath and lift our knees off the floor. Lift your hips to the ceiling to our down dog. And then we're gonna bend our knees again, place them down to the floor. I need to move my hands forward a little bit. Push your hips down towards the floor and look up to the ceiling to our upward dog. And then hips back, tuck your toes, lift up to your downward dog. Knees down, roll through your spine to your upward dog. And we reverse again. And if you would like to, you can even go through to your upward dog without putting your knees down. But that's absolutely optional. You do not have to. That's if you're feeling super human today. But we're taking it nice and easy, so I'll keep my knees down in between. And again. And knees down, roll through to your upward dog. One more time, we'll go to our downward dog and we'll hold it. And we'll press down into our left heel and switch. Press down into your right heel and switch and switch, switch and switch and switch and switch. Press both heels down into the floor and then bring your knees down to the floor and tuck your toes back under. Now, we're going to push back into a child's pose and just rest here for a minute. Take nice, deep breaths. Alrighty, let's come back up to all fours. I'm going to take my right arm and tuck it underneath my left and push back into my child pose to get a nice stretch from my shoulder all the way down my back. A nice twist. If there's any place in your body that feels really tight, just send a little bit of breath in that area. And then come back up onto your tabletop. We'll do the exact same thing. Take our left arm, tuck it underneath our right, and sit back onto your heels. And come back onto your tabletop. I'm going to turn and face y'all. Okay, so I'm going to tuck my toes underneath one more time and lift up to my downward dog. And you can either walk your hands towards your feet or walk your feet towards your hands. And we'll hang over. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you can absolutely do so. This is a wonderful stretch for your low back. And then release your head. You can shake it around a little bit. Nod your head yes. And nod your head no. And just move your head around. Really make sure that your neck is not holding any tension. I'm going to take my left hand on my right ankle and lift my right hand up to the ceiling and twist to look up at the ceiling. And while I'm there, I'm also going to bend my left knee. I feel the stretch from the top of my right hip all the way down to my ankle on the outside of my leg. And stretch your left knee and bring both hands back down to the floor. And we'll do the same thing Going the other way. Right hand grabs my left ankle. My left hand goes up to the ceiling and I turn to look at it. Hold that for a second and then bend your right knee. Ooh, this leg is a lot tighter than my other one. And bring both hands back down to the floor. Stretch your right knee. Let's walk our feet out. A nice wide second. And relax down to the floor. You can even grab onto your elbows and just let your upper body hang over top of your legs. And hands back on the floor. Let's bend our knees and come back down to the floor. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together and let my knees open up into a nice butterfly. And I'm going to walk myself forward as far as you can. And drop your chin down to your chest. Let your forehead fall forward like I'm trying to drop the crown of my head to the floor. This is a wonderful stretch all the way down my back. And just continue breathing into those tight spaces of your body. I'm going to walk my hands towards the right side of this shape. Once again, making sure that I keep my left sits bone down on the floor. And take some nice deep breaths. If I want to make this stretch a little bit more intense, I turn my chin to look underneath my left arm, and that adds an extra stretch down my neck as well. And walk back to the center. Take 2 deep breaths there. And walk your hands to the left side of the shape. Make sure your right sits bone is also pressing down into the floor. If you want that extra little stretch, turn your chin to look underneath your right arm. And walk yourself back to the center. Take 2 more deep breaths. And slowly walk your hands back and roll up to sitting. Alrighty, now let's take a little bit of a break. Grab some
Woo!
water.
Perfect timing, Celina. Those
Yeah,
first few stretches have already worked wonders. Thank you so much. We are going to give our audience a little bit of a break to get recentered, even though I will say these stretches and the music are relaxing the heck out of me. So, we're on hiatus. We do have a little video to share with you all. Have you ever heard of the term active aging? Well, Min Min has. And here's a bit more info on how this concept improves overall quality of life and the benefits that active aging brings to the older adult community. I know the break was short lived, but it's okay because we're about to jump right back into part two of our stretching and strengthening class with Celina. So I hope you got a
yeah.
second to grab a little bit of water, take a bit of a breath. And Celina, the class is all yours once again. Thank you for giving us just a little bit of a moment to get back together.
Of
you know?
course, yes, I know. Sometimes we need a little break when we're stretching. It gets to be a little bit much. We need to give our body a little bit of a break from all the stretches and grab some water. But let's get right back into it. So, we'll sit once again with the soles of our feet pressed together and our knees open nice and wide. We want to sit nice and tall on our sits bones. And once again, if you need to grab that pillow to help support your hips, absolutely do so. I'm going to stretch my right leg out to the side. So from here, all I'm doing is just stretching my leg. It's not going very wide at all. I'm going to turn my shoulders to face my right foot and I'm going to walk myself forward as far as I can. Once again, keeping my left hip nice and even and planted down into the ground. If you are able to, grab onto that foot to give you a little bit of resistance, something to pull on to intensify the stretch. Absolutely go for it. And just continue to take those nice, relaxing, deep breaths. Place your hands back on the floor if you did grab onto that foot, and slowly walk yourself back up to sitting. And we'll bring our right foot back in, and now we're going to stretch our left foot out. Turn our upper body to face that left leg and walk forward as far as you can. If you grabbed onto that right foot, try grabbing onto the left one, giving yourself a little bit of resistance here. Intensify that stretch and keep breathing into those areas of tightness. Release your hands if you did grab onto that foot, and slowly walk yourself back up to your seated position. Now, we're going to go into a figure 4. If you need that pillow once again to help support your hips, absolutely grab it. So our right foot will be in front, our right leg will be in front, and our left leg will be behind. My right arm is reaching for the floor, and we will reach up and over one more time. Find that stretch in your hip. And come back up to your seated position. If that was enough stretch for you in your hip flexor and hip, you can go right again to the side. And if you need a little bit more stretch, you can reach your right arm diagonally behind you and reach in that direction for a little bit more of a stretch. And come back up to your seated position. And we will switch. Now my left leg is in front, my right leg is behind. My left arm reaches for the floor, and we stretch directly to the side. And we sit up one more time. Again, just like on the right, if going directly side was enough stretch for you in your hip, you can go right back to that place, or you can reach diagonally behind you and intensify the stretch a little bit. And sit right on back up. Now, we will come onto our knees. I'm going to bring my right foot forward, so I'm kneeling just on my left. I'm going to engage my abs to pull my left hip slightly forward, and then I'm going to lean forward into the stretch. So from the side, you can see I'm here, and then I curl my pelvis under just a little bit, and then I reach forward. And now I'm going to push back to sit back on my left heel. I'm going to flex my right foot and reach forward over that leg. Now we're going to take some movement here. I'm going to shift my weight forward into a lunge and look up at the ceiling, and then shift back to sit on my heel and stretch the back of my leg. And again, shift forward to your lunge and shift backward to stretch the back of your leg. Again, shift forward to your lunge and shift back to stretch that leg. And last time, shift forward to that lunge and shift back to stretch that leg. Alrighty, come back onto both knees, stand up on your knees. Now our left leg will be forward. Use your abs to tuck your hips under just slightly so you feel that stretch on your right hip flexor, and then lean forward until you feel that stretch all the way down from the top of your hip flexor all the way down through your quad muscle. And then we'll sit back on our right heel this time. Flex that left foot and reach forward to stretch the back of that left leg. And then we'll put our movement into it. Shift forward to your lunge. Look up to the ceiling. And then shift back. Sit on that heel and stretch the back of your left leg. And shift forward into your lunge. And shift back. And flex your foot. Stretch the back of that leg. Again, shift forward into that lunge. And shift back and stretch that leg. One more time, shift forward into your lunge, look up to the ceiling, and shift back and stretch the back of that leg. Alrighty, let's come to a seated position. I'm gonna lay down on the floor, bring my right knee into my chest, and extend your left leg as far as it can go. You can either straighten it all the way, or leave it bent, or just slightly extended, whichever is best for you. And as we're here, we'll circle that right knee in the hip socket, just small circles. Massage that hip joint, and then make small circles in the other direction. And find center again, and we'll stretch our leg up to the ceiling and just grab on wherever you can. It could be behind your thigh, behind your knee, on your calf, on your ankle, on your foot, wherever you would like to grab onto. I'm going to grab around my ankle, and we're going to flex our foot and point that foot and flex that foot and point that foot, and flex, and point, and flex, and point, and flex, and point. Now we're going to flex our foot and bend our knee, and then point our foot and stretch our knee, and flex and bend, and point and stretch, flex and bend, point and stretch, flex and bend, point and stretch. Last one, flex and bend, and point and stretch. Good. Bend that knee. Place both feet on the floor again. Wiggle your knees around, wiggle your legs around. Pet your cat. And now we'll bring our left knee into our chest and extend our right leg out along the floor, wherever that be. If you choose to extend that leg, it can extend however far you want it to. And let's make some circles with our left knee, some nice small circles. Really get into that hip joint. And then circle in the other direction. And bring it back to center and stretch that leg and grab on wherever you need to grab on. My left leg is tighter than my right leg, so I'm just going to grab on at my calf. And we're going to flex our foot and point our foot and flex our foot and point and flex and point, flex and point and flex and point. And now we're going to flex our foot and bend our knee and point our foot and stretch our knee and flex and bend and point and stretch and flex and bend, point and stretch, flex and bend, and point and stretch. Now, bring both legs down to the floor. We'll bend our knees one more time. Arms out to the side in a T. Let your knees fall to the left and turn your head to the right. Feel that twist, that nice twist along your spine. If you would like to intensify that twist, you can bring your right leg onto the other side of your left leg. So my right ankle is now in front of my left knee. And continue reaching your right arm in the opposite direction. And bring your knees back up to the ceiling. And we do the same thing going in the other direction. Knees fall to the right, my head looks to the left. If you would like to intensify this twist, bring your left ankle to the other side of your right knee. And keep reaching your left hand in the opposite direction. And bring your knees back up to the ceiling. We'll hug our knees into our chest. Give yourself a nice hug and rock from side to side. This always feels so nice on my spine. A nice little massage on my low back. And now to get into our hips once more, we're going to grab onto the outsides of our feet and bring your knees as close to the insides of your armpits as possible. Happy baby. This is always one of my favorites. I'm going to give it a little rock here from side to side. And then find some stillness and keep your left leg bent as you stretch your right leg and bend it in. And then stretch your left leg and bend it in. Again, stretch your right leg and bend it in. And your left leg. And bend it in. We'll place both feet on the floor, roll to one side, and push to sitting. Alrighty, now we'll finish with one last child's pose. So push back into your child's pose. Hips reach for your heels. Fingertips reach forward. Lengthen the back of your neck. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Walk your hands towards your knees and roll your spine up to sitting. Alrighty. I hope you guys feel nice and stretched because I certainly do.
Hey, absolutely. And I do want to jump in the chat and give Min Min her props because, yeah, she's I
She's
always
the star of the show.
I will say, Min Min got some love. Love the kitty cat from a deer.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you so much, Celina, for stretching with us, for guiding us through a relaxing evening. And I appreciate your time and hope to have you back so soon. How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel ready for bed. I could go to sleep. I feel so ready to lay down and get some nice, good sleep. All the stress of the day has been released. All the tension has been released. I feel so relaxed.
Exactly. So then, for all of those who weren't able to join us live tonight, please remember these are able to play back. So if you need either a morning pick-me-up or a stretch before bed, feel free to come visit us again. Go through this stretch whenever you feel like it. And thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope that those who are on the stream tonight are nice and relaxed and that this helps the people who watch it on YouTube later.
Woohoo! So then, for the rest of our audience, keep an eye out for upcoming Vibrant Learning lessons, since there will definitely be more to come and more with Celina for sure. And keep an eye out because next Tuesday, we will have another Art with Asha series. If you've met her before, you know you're going to have the best time. Asha Gaines Smith will be joining us next week, Tuesday, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here to guide us through still life drawing. So be sure to bring your pens, your pencils, piece of paper. and your best Picasso impression, because we will be doing our best, even if you're not a professional artist, because I surely am not. Feel free to join us and follow along. So then, thank you all for joining us tonight. Be sure to follow us on social media, check out the Sage Advice Vibrant Learning channel on YouTube, and visit our website at sagecollective.org for more information about any Sage Advice Vibrant Learning programs upcoming and to register for future classes. Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Bye.